His supper long eaten, and his third cup of cold tea sitting untouched by his hand, Martin sat behind the small red table, within good view of both the door and the bar. His winner had not yet arrived, and he might have been inclined to wonder why his feet had brought him here, were it not for the certainty that he would find out soon enough. He had, very occasionally, been delivered to this place or that, only to find that something, perhaps the simple act of obeying the compulsion of his gift, had altered circumstances sufficiently that he was no longer required in that particular place and time. On every one of those occasions, however, he had felt a release. His feet lost their wisdom halfway down a busy thoroughfare, or his sudden thought that it would be pleasant to have a cold treat resulted in his arrival at the ice vendor's stall. This evening he felt no such release, and a trial thought that it would be pleasant to go back to his room in the attic of Bendy's House of Joy did not result in his standing up from behind the table, approaching the bar, and informing the keeper that he was quit. Martin sighed. No, his winner was taking her time, that was all. His gift did prefer to be before time in these matters. His part was to recruit his patience and be vigilant. He looked at his cup of tea, then around about him. There was something that was said on the streets, that like called to like, and here in Gain Earl's hell one could see ample evidence of that small truth. Those who framed the residents of Lowport as brutes and less would need only to look through Gain Earl's door to be vindicated. Gambling was the primary draw, and those it drew ranged from the desperate, willing to do anything for a meal, to those who had the means to oblige them. Opposite his corner was another table, like his, clearly visible from both door and bar. The woman sitting there was the current local power to contend with. Her name was Lady Voslothy, and she held 6 entire blocks under her protection, with Gain Earl's hell being the center point. 2 bullies stood behind her, guns and knives on display, and those who dared approach the table did so with hunched shoulders and bowed heads. As if she had felt his glance, the lady turned her head and met his eyes. For a moment they regarded each other. The lady spoke over her shoulder, and one of her 2 protectors stepped away from the table and crossed the room. Martin drew a deep breath. Surely, he thought. Surely not. "Luck," the man said, standing on the far side of the red table. "Gun," he answered politely. "My lady asks you to look aside. She's got no need of your gift."